True worship. I sort of spoke about this before the last time I was here. So now we're going to review and move forward from where we started, or from what I talked about last time I was here. If you want to know the schedule, the right schedule, then I'm going to be talking about true worship here. It's in the back, I believe, still. The lobby there, you'll have on the board all the Sabbaths. I'll be hearing the topics we're going to talk about every Sabbath. So today is part 1. So every time we're going to have a concept, right? So this week, true worship, it's based on last time I was here, true worship is relational. That's number 1. So if you guys want to bring your notepads, your Bibles, it's going to be the same format as our weekly Bible study rather early every week, Tuesday. This is a joint Bible study, meaning both churches gather together every week to study. So we're going to follow the string here. Over there we're doing Genesis, the basics. Here we're doing true worship. Every other week, sort of. So I'll be here doing that. Alright? So cool. So today we begin a new sermon series entitled True Worship. And from the rest of February until May, I said we'll be discussing some important topics that pertain to the biblical idea of what true worship is and what it actually is. So as we begin, we need to cover some ground. We need to cover some basic things. And this is what we're going to do today, the time we have before we go eat. Okay? So I need you to understand one thing today. That's it. And then we're going to go eat the one thing. So in regards to worship, right? Worship basically thinking of not only what we do here, but how we live life. Life of worship. Why don't we just do whatever we normally do, right? Why do we need to discuss worship? Why don't we just sit here and do whatever is in the printed bulletin there, and then it's good. We don't need to discuss it, right? Or why don't we just do what our parents did, right? So if they were better people than we are, so let's just do whatever they did, right? Why don't we just think and do worship according to whatever we have received? That's one of the questions we could raise. Then we could do all these things. We could do whatever we normally do. We can do whatever our parents did. But one of the most foundational concepts in discussing worship, the basic ideas is the following. That eventually, so this is what we're discussing today, the worship is the host. But one idea I want you to have in mind is, normally, we become what we fill in the blank. We become what we worship. This is one of the basic principles in regards to worship. So why did God have a problem with people worshiping idols? Right? Well, number one, they were made out of wood and stone. In other words, they were dead. In other words, if you worship that, you'll become that. In other words, you'll die. Because there's no life there. To make matters worse, many of the other gods in ancient Israel and Mesopotamia and Babylon and Palestine were gods that required blood and sexual offerings and all these other things. To worship Baal, for instance, you needed to have sex with a temple prostitute so that she might stimulate Baal himself to bless you in whatever way you needed. So eventually the problem here is that you become what you're worshiping. You're becoming a human being tied to sexual promiscuity, to violence, and to all these other things that could harm people. Right? So the problem is not only idol worship for idol worship, it's because the real problem is that we end up becoming whatever we're worshiping. So back to the question that was raised before. Why don't we just do worship according to whatever our parents, because we're going to become like our parents. That's it. Why don't we just do whatever we want? Well, because then if what we want is, for instance, whatever. Normally in South America, when we go to a church, it's families that run the church, right? 2 or 3 families are sort of together. So the worship there has nothing to do with Scripture. It has to do with whatever those families want. So as you do worship, you're becoming more like them. And not becoming like God. Does that make sense? So this is the problem, right? in doing worship, we need to realize that one of the basic principles of worship is eventually you become like the object of whatever you're worshiping. Now, as we are gathering here for worship, we need to ask the question, okay? Are we becoming more like the God of the Bible who deserves our worship, or are we becoming like something else? So as we discuss true worship here, this is what we're going to talk about, right? If we are coming to worship under the parameters of whatever individuals believe worship looks like, we will become like those individuals and not like God. So if indeed we want to worship the God of the Bible, we must allow the God of the Bible to set the parameters of what true worship looks like, right? Yes or no? I mean, again, we break it down. You may have whatever idea you want about what worship looks like. That's great. But unless that idea doesn't harmonize with whatever is written, it just doesn't matter. You get it? Yes or no? So the real question we need to ask ourselves constantly is, you may have your theological opinions, your religious, assurances, but if they're not harmonized with this, it really has no place in whatever we're setting out to do. We need to be open to the possibility that whatever we thought and heard and did in worship is not exactly what God has in mind for us. Is that a possibility? Yes or no? Sure. Yeah. Many of our conceptions might have no place in the Bible whatsoever. So we need to be open to that. So as we begin, we need to ask ourselves a very simple question. Are we becoming like God when we worship, or are we becoming like something else? So in order to allow God to set the parameters of what worship looks like, we must understand first and foremost what the Bible's all about, right? So in order to get to worship, the concept, we need to ask a more foundational question, and this is something I did at Rabbit Grove. This is something I did in school for the kids in Bible study area. This is something I'm doing today, just so you have an introductory idea of what the Bible actually is all about. So the question is, what is the Bible all about? So in order for you to understand the question, let me rephrase the question in a different way. What's the point? Right? Why don't we come in here every week and just study the Quran? Or Homer's Iliad? Or Dostoevsky or Tolstoy? Why don't we just study, whatever, Nietzsche? Why the Bible? That's the question. So tell me. And the way I go about doing this is, obviously I was a teacher at university, students that didn't care for God and religion or what. So I always think like a person who's a non-believer, right? In everything I do. Like, how that person that doesn't know what I normally know, how is he going to hear of everything else? So think of the question this way. How does the Bible contribute to your life? That's the question. Terry, okay?
It's the Word of God.
Okay. So let's take, do we all agree with Terry? Yes or no? All right, so now, let me transform into somebody who's a non-believer. Just a second. All right, so now I'm a non-believer, right? I'm here. I just took off my coat. I wish I had a costume back there. All right, so I'm not Pastor Tiago anymore, Terry. Now I'm just somebody who just walked in church, right? I know what you guys are up to here, so good. So this is the Word of God, yes? Well, the Quran also presents itself as the Word of God. Do we all agree? So why don't I just read that? This is what, and again, where I'm not looking for right or wrong answers right now. I'm just wanting you to think, okay? And I think you're doing that as I see your faces in the spirit. Yes?
It coincides with history.
It coincides with history as it has made predictions concerning the future, yeah? Well, good. There's a book called Liquid Modernity. I don't know if you heard about it. By Zygmunt Bauman. I think that's his name, Bauman. And he makes amazing predictions of what society will look like in 20, 30, 40 years ahead of it. And guess what? he's not no prophet, he's just a sociologist. But he sort of felt it. Have you read 1984? Right? Doesn't that book sort of predict what was going on? So again, does it harmonize with history, even being fiction? It does. And you have other books of philosophers and other self-proclaimed prophets that make predictions about the world as well. And some of them actually came true, others did not. So I can make the argument and say, well, I can find some prophecy in other books as well. Why this one? Right? Older prophecy. Okay. What else? Tell me why, as a human being, what do I benefit from reading this here? That's the question.
If you want to be like Christ, you're going to be first. The story doesn't change.
The story doesn't change. Well, there's a paradigm here for history that sort of is compatible, so that's sort of what you were saying before. But here we learn about Jesus, yes? Okay, but then the Mormons have their own Bible, don't they? They also talk about a different kind of Jesus. And then you have other spiritual books that have other angles of Jesus. So why should I go to this one? Because it's the truth. Whoa, we have hit the T word so quickly tonight. The truth. Yeah. Carmen. Hi, Carmen. Good that you're here. The truth. It has the truth. Well, the truth is a very, I mean, I could go biblical route, since I said I was not a believer just now. The truth is very subjective, it's very relative. It could be true to you, it can't be true to me. Isn't this how the society thinks right now? Relativism and all these things? I knocked somebody's water. Yes, Trish?
It's not a book of fairy tales, and when you start reading it, and if you love the Holy Spirit, you like the Holy Spirit, maybe you don't find out what somebody kind of guides you, and you ask the Holy Spirit to open things up to you, you'll start understanding a little bit more life.
Yeah, it's not like a dead book. Okay, so there's some mystery, some spells in this book, because I'm thinking as an unbeliever, but there's something mystical to it, you know, that when you're talking about the Spirit, there's something transcendent that happens when I'm reading it.
The Holy Spirit will help you.
Yeah. When you say Holy Spirit, it's an external entity that can help you. Is this correct or not? Yeah. No, it's external. It's something outside of me and outside of the book. Right? The Spirit is not me and it's not the book, so it's external.
Okay, you would have caught me on that part. External, because I don't know if it's, I mean, I know it's
No, external. Oh, God is out there, right? Yeah, good. So there's a mystery. There's something that happens as I go. This is
It's not a very fun end. It tells you everything from the beginning when it happened all the way to the end, and God has already said that it is, I mean, He is there. You know He's there.
okay, good answer. Let's answer James. What's up?
If you were a non-believer, I would tell you you should read the book because it teaches about love, and it teaches how to be selfless.
Okay. Love and goodness and beauty, good. Although I could have said, well, I read the flood narrative and there's no love there overall. There's just destruction. Yeah. So, but I get what you're saying. This intrigues me. Good. Now I put my jacket back to you guys for Tiago. Guys, what I want to share with you today is normally how I go about sharing what the Bible's all about with people who don't think like us and look at things like us. And since the day I sort of understood the Bible this particular way, has changed things for me. And I just feel that since then I'm much more fulfilled in knowing what the Bible offers humanity in a clear and fascinating way. This one. All right, let's open your Bibles wherever you want. Let's open it wherever. Okay? Ready? Have you opened the Bible wherever? You don't have to do it. It's not an order. We're not in the army here. All right? Have you opened it? Yes. Good. Can you hear the children crying? No. Amen. Oh, you should hear it. It's good. It means we're a church that is alive. Amen. There are children here that what's going on? Don't let them cry. It's no problem at all. We have the sense that the pastor is going to be offended. I'm going to rejoice every time I hear screams from children, not from you guys. Children are allowed to scream. You guys can scream too. All right, have you opened your Bible or wherever? All right, good. So tell me what you see.
Word. Scripture. Book of Isaiah, verses.
Book of Isaiah. Luke chapter whatever.
John chapter 1.
John chapter 1, the scripture reading. Is this what you're seeing? Are you looking?
Joshua.
Josh, good. vowed if I was rich, I would just give $10 to closer answer. But should we just get it from the offering?
Well, I know, I remember that. Words, we see words.
Oh, you were there last Sabbath. Dolores is cheating because she was around the room when I talked. No, you were right, Phil, you got it right. Words. And then I told them, well, normally when I did this at the university, because this was like one of the first classes I used to teach, this is not a class obviously, but I will always speak like this because it's normal. When I did seminary, I always found it to be interesting how I had friends who just talked with me normally, and then we had a homiletics class, Terry. You know, homiletics is preaching class, right? And then you say, hey, so you're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about James, you're going to talk about Joshua, okay, cool. So that's awesome. So are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Let's go. Dear beloved, who's this guy? Why are you talking like that? He was just a normal human being. Maybe the Spirit. This is the point of the class where people say, am I paying this guy to tell me that the Bible has words? Is this the problem? But bear with me, okay? The Bible has words. Isn't that something? Right? Are you with me so far? Yes. Good. It has words. Guess what? Words in the Bible have meanings. And this is already where we normally get stuck. Okay? Because what happens when we read the Bible is the following. We open the Bible and suddenly we already think we know what the words mean. See how that happens very quickly? That's how it happens. So in other words, this is the primary example I always use, right? Genesis 1, verse 1 says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Are all these words clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Are we good? Should we move to verse 2? Yeah, we're good. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay, it's good. We normally move forward, right? And this is the problem. Because we assume we understand what in the beginning means, what God means, what created means, what heaven and earth means, and everything else that follows. Now, you know that Tuesday Bible studies, we've been tackling word by word almost for now. We've been stuck there for 2 weeks already in verse 1, and we didn't read verse 1 yet. So this is the situation. We need to stop. Why? Because we need to always be suspicious of ourselves when thinking that we know what the words mean. So for instance, and this is the example I used earlier as well. What does beginning mean? In the beginning. What does beginning mean?
The start of it all.
Okay.
The start.
What is it talking about in Genesis 1? Is it the beginning of all things? Is it the beginnings of heavens up there and the earth here? Is it just the beginning of the earth here? What is the answer? How do you know? There are many people who think it's the beginning of everything. Angels, heaven, and why is it not that as well? Since it's heavens and the earth. Isn't heavens whatever's up there and earth over here? So how, do you realize that many questions sort of appear when we start asking questions? So this is just to prove the point. I'm not reading Genesis here today. Genesis is Tuesday, right? But just realize that maybe we don't have a clear grasp of what these words actually mean once we start thinking of them, right? And if we do, once we do get the meaning, then we're going to realize that the Bible has a vocabulary of its own. All right? So far, so good? So the Bible has words. Words have meanings. And once you understand the meaning, you understand the Bible has a whole vocabulary of words and concepts. That if you understand the vocabulary, suddenly you're going to understand the language of the Bible. So here we are now. Into the very thing I want to share with you today is that the main thing the Bible has to offer people is a new language. And you say, oh, that's great. Well, bear with me in a second so you understand the magnitude of what that means. Okay? So let's take, for instance, a word. normal word. Normally I use the word religion. Okay? What does religion mean? What's the meaning of this word?
Higher power. Higher power.
So what is our social meaning of this word? Or maybe the semantic meaning of the word. You know what semantic is? What is it? The word religion comes from the Latin religare, which means reconnect. That's one of the meanings. Reconnect. Reconnect what? Basically reconnect humans to God. This is what religion is. Religion is that thing which connects heaven and earth. You get it? That's the semantic meaning. Why? Because the word means that. Religare, religion, means reconnect. Are we good so far? All right, good. But is religion a positive thing in society or a negative thing?
Negative.
Why? If it seems something so beautiful, reconnecting to infinity or to something like that, why do we have a feeling, if I go down the street in Santa Fe and ask, hey, do you think religion is good for you in the USA? What's going to be the normal answer? It's not. Why? So good. So now we realize that words have meanings that not only come from the words themselves, but from our society, right? We made connections of what religion actually looks like. So what does religion mean to those that think it's a horrible thing? To them, what does it mean?
Tradition. Tradition.
Tradition. In tradition, again, it would be a negative thing, right? It means tradition. What else? A whip. What else? Control. Good. Fear. All these are all good words. But do you see how we get a meaning from a word with other words tied and connected to it? We're going to realize that the Bible functions in the same way. Sometimes words have semantic meanings of themselves, but the cool thing about the Bible is as you read it, you're going to see that many of the meanings are tied to other words. And as we realize, oh, I didn't think this was the case with this word, and suddenly we're realizing that the Bible has a whole idea of words and meanings and language that we didn't realize before. So let's continue on this track. Does the Bible mention the word religion? Does it have a definition for that word? Yes or no?
I don't think so.
Yes, it does. In the book of James.
Is it pure religion?
Pure and true religion, according to God, is what? So the Bible, here. True religion, this is found in the book of James, right? Is to take care of widows and orphans. Which means what? The minorities, the ones in need. Plus, flee from the corruption of the world. And when it's talking about corruption, it's not talking about what normal religious people think corruption is, right? You think corruption is tied to clothes, what you wear, what you not wear, what you do your watch. Corruption is internal. It's a way of seeing things. It's a way to perceive reality. It's greed. It's control. It's trying to mess up the life of the other in order for me to have gain. This is what corrupts the world. You've heard about corrupt politicians, correct? Who are the corrupt politicians? Those that are trying to make money on the side to push legislature that will benefit them and whoever's back. This is corruption. It's something that happens inside and that leads to external actions. So when the Bible talks about religion, it has nothing to do with these words here that we have come up in society. It has a whole other meaning. In other words, the way to connect to God, the way to live with God is taking care of those in need, number one. And number two, living a life of no corruption. Following question would be, so we can think about this. Does religion, according to the Bible, happen in the church building or outside? You see how that implication is very quick? So you may have all your ideas about what religion is, about who God is, but once you start understanding that the Bible has a language of its own, now we're closer to understanding what the Bible is all about. So let me show you what happens now with the Bible. Because now we have our language, right? You have an understanding of who God is, of what the world is, of what religion is, of what worship is, right? But guess what? We're going to take our language and now we're going to bring it where? To the Bible. And we're going to compare it. And suddenly we're going to realize that many of our conceptions have no place to be found in the Bible. Simply is not there. And then we're going to have a choice call. We're going to have a choice of maintaining our own language and our perception of reality, or we're going to submit to whatever the Bible is saying. That's the whole point of what conversion is actually all about. Is when you let go of your language and you start seeing reality in a completely new way through new language. Now, why am I talking about reality? Why am I bringing reality up tied to language? Well, this is the reason. I'm not going to give you an answer questions. What is language all about? Why do we need language?
To communicate.
To communicate. Good. That's normally the traditional answer that comes out of our hearts and minds. Good. So let me give you a word of thought experiment, right? Remember that movie with Tom Hanks, Castaway? Right? He's out in the island by himself. This is before the volleyball becomes his friend, right? Wilson, yes. Now, he's out there by himself. Does he need language, yes or no?
Yes.
Why? If his language is for communication, he's by himself, why does he need language? How does language comfort him? Come on, think about this. Something to think about. What is language all about? If I don't have somebody to communicate with, do I need language?
Yes.
Why? That's a good answer. It is ingrained in us. We are built to communicate and to understand things through language. But why do we need it? Why survival, Lord? I want you to think. Church will no longer be a place where you're just fed information. You're going to think, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. If you're not used to it, it's going to hurt. But after you power through it, you're going to become a whole new person after that. So bear with me. Why do we need language?
Voice thoughts.
Did you hear that? So even if I don't have somebody to communicate without language, I can't think. You realize this? So now we're getting closer to what language is all about. Communication is just secondary at best. We need language in order to think. That's number one. But more importantly, even than to think, do you realize that without language, how would your experience in the world be? New story. Let me tell you a story. This is a true story, guys. Heard it at NPR back in the day. Teacher, just graduated from college, and her degree has a specialty in sign language. Have you seen sign language? Right? Sign language. I'm just going to try to make the long story short. So she comes to her first school situation, and she's going to teach the students sign language. Normally it's not like normal students. The students who actually need the tool of sign language to either deaf or mute, and whatever that situation is, they need to communicate somehow, and she was their teacher. So far so good? She comes into the class, she starts teaching the class, and she realizes that in the back there's a kid who's not interacting at all. Sort of like you when I started speaking. She thought that was weird, so after class she just came close to the kid and said, what's your name? I don't know sign language, so I'm just going to try. So the kid just looked at her, remained silent, and then she went again, what's your name? And then he answered her, what's your name? And she said, well, the kid's playing with me for sure. And she said, my name is Susan. And he responded, my name is Susan. And suddenly she realized that this kid cannot communicate at all. He's just repeating whatever signs she's doing. So she was very intrigued. The parents or people who adopted the kid came over later, and then she asked questions of what's going on. She said, well, this is the situation. I don't remember if he was adopted, I don't remember the story clearly, but he was brought in, and he couldn't hear, couldn't speak, wasn't able to communicate, so he just lived in his room. They gave him a shower, they gave him food, and they brought him to classes. The last of his work to sort of help him communicate, right? So the teacher was excited, as a young teacher normally is. And now this is going to be my project. This kid is going to be able to do it. It's going to be beautiful. Good. But month after month, she just got nothing from the kid. Okay, to make long story short, we get to the end of it, right? One day, she's doing exercises just for him, right? Sign language book, the sign pen, the sign microphone, you can see weird beard or something like that. Suddenly, in the middle of these exercises, she says in the interview that the kid's eyes just sort of opened. He sort of got back in his chair, he stood up, and her description is that it felt like this was the first time that he landed on Earth from Mars or something. And then he's looking around, and then one of the first things he communicates is, everything has a meaning. So why am I telling you this story now? It's so you realize that language, yes, it's about communication, but there's something very foundational in language that we don't realize. Language is our access to reality. Without language, you would just be an animal, living by instinct. You would not understand that the floor is the floor, that the ceiling is the ceiling. You wouldn't understand any word coming out of my mouth. You would just be unaware of reality altogether. You realize this? So language is our access into reality, into the human experience of loving and sharing and understanding and growing. Parenthesis. Thank you, Paul, for the scripture reading, but you realize that the world is created in a particular way in the Bible, right? How is it created? In the beginning was the Word. It's language. God creates the world, the reality, through language, and our access to it is through language. Isn't that crazy? Close parentheses, because that's too deep. I'm not going to go into that stuff. I don't want to break your brains, okay? I don't want to break my brains this morning. I haven't thought everything through. But language is at the fabric of what reality is all about. When we learn a language, we're not learning just words. We're learning how to see the world. Do you realize this? So it is, for instance, in Portuguese, I have words that you do not have in English. And you have words in English that we do not have in Portuguese. So I can see things in the world that you cannot see because I have words for it that you do not. That's right. I didn't know what Tiago was. I got a whole sermon there by James.
And the floor is actually there, and the ceiling is actually over it.
Well, there you go. So it's a different way of saying, well, you can have the same words for different things, but what I'm talking about here is different words for things we normally don't see. So for instance, when we say, I miss you, right? It's a verb, miss you. You miss somebody. In Portuguese, we have a noun for that feeling you have, for that situation of missing somebody, that now I have access to because I have a word for it. Are you realizing what I'm talking about here? Are we good? Words, language, saudade. Saudade. Saudade, eu tenho saudade. I have saudade, which is what encaptures this feeling of I'm missing somebody. Saudade. But you can't experience this feeling until you understand what that word encompasses. So you have many. My son, for instance, I took a picture of him going to the first day of school here to learn English, right? And I wrote a little paragraph for me to remember. I said, son, you're going to start, you're not going to learn only, you're going to learn, you're going to enter a new world. You're going to see things differently. Right? Because now, assuming in the second language, you're going to see reality in a different way. Things that were not there are going to be there in front of you. Now it's going to be a greater picture. Right? So why am I saying all these things? It's because in the Bible you have words. The words have meanings. And meanings bring about a whole vocabulary of meanings that lead us into the language. So when we open the Bible, what are we truly learning, my friends? Language. And as we learn this new language, we're going to see things different than what we did. Are you with me so far? Do you realize this now? Isn't this something? Now, what do I mean by this? I mean that now, instead of seeing somebody who's legalistic, Pharisaic, who likes to control things in church, you're not going to call him religious. He's just legalistic, Pharisaic, and whatever. Religion, true religion in the Bible is helping minorities. It's being away from corruption. So you're going to see the world differently, and you're going to live reality in a different way. Because religion in the Bible takes place outside. So if this is true for religion, can you imagine what the Bible has to say for the Word? worship. So we're going to learn in the next few weeks the language of the Bible, of what worship actually looks like, and we're going to have a choice to either assume this new language as our own or live according to our own language. One final thought before we go have lunch. Can I share with you the problem of religion altogether? Now, religion I'm using not in the biblical sense, in the normal sense that we have the negative sense. Can I share the problem of church? Are you ready? I'm going to break it down. I figured it out, Phil. Are you ready? So here we go. This is the process we are aiming for, right? Understanding the words, assuming the language, living within the biblical reality. Amen? Good. Let me tell you what happens in churches all the time now and why people hate religion today. Are you ready? Here we go. Normally in churches, do we open the Bible? Yes or no? Yes. Do we read the words, Terry?
Yes.
Yes. So we read the words. That's perfect. Now good. Now let's get to the second point. When we open the Bible and we read the words, do we understand their meanings and are we sensitive to them? Yes or no? The answer is no. Let me tell you what happens in every single sermon I normally hear in South America. Now I'm here and I'm listening to myself, so I can't talk about myself. But at least you know where I'm coming from. My sole interest is to understand the biblical language. I couldn't care less about what tradition is, about what we think we can discuss what we think, but I'm interested in whatever the Bible's talking about. That's my sole interest. Okay? Let me tell you what happens in church. You open the Bible. We read words. Words like, remember Isaiah? The youth will run and they will not grow weary, and they will fly like eagles. Remember that? Good. So you read the text. Good. Then normally the Bible's closed and the pastor goes into a whole speech. That probably has nothing to do with what Isaiah had in mind. But he takes words, and this people do intentionally. Okay? These are the bad guys. The bad guys take biblical words and insert alternative meanings into the words. If a pastor is doing this intentionally, this is how it's going to look like. This is normally in Brazil, we have huge churches of pastors who steal from poor people, right? The prosperity gospel, right? So how does it go about? They read the story of Abraham, and they say, well, Abraham gave up his only son. What are you going to give up for God? See what they did there? They divested every single word of a text from their meanings and invested a new idea. You need to be giving up your stuff for God. You see what happened? So they read words, but they insert alternative meanings. And guess what happened? People assume the meaning, they understand the pastor's vocabulary, they assume the language, and suddenly they're living in a religious reality that is completely incompatible to what?
The Bible.
Incompatible, but very compatible to whoever is changing the meanings of words. Do you realize this? So good. Now, those that do it intentionally do it to manipulate people, constantly. But there are those who do it unintentionally. Pastors have no idea what it is. So they talk about the eagle. Oh, you know, the eagle, he flies high, and the eagle is you, and the rock is God. And then he looks at the church, and then there are ladies wearing short skirts and say, oh, there's some chickens here. You know, not all of you are eagles. It's a problem. We need to pray for some people. And they start putting new meanings into the words that have nothing to do with reality. So why do you think so many people leave the church filled with anguish and anxiety and more burdens on their shoulders? You know why? Because people change meanings of words. They're lied to. Intentionally or unintentionally. And you leave here not with a conception of biblical language and reality. You leave the church with a conception of whoever was speaking in the microphone, whatever they had in their minds. And you end up becoming more like them than like the God of the Jesus that we find in the Bible. So do you realize the problem here? Yes or no? Is the problem with the words? Yes or no? No, the words are read. Where's the problem? In the transitions. When suddenly we don't care what the Bible's talking about in regards to the words and their meanings, it's just whatever I think, and whatever I think will lead people into a different reality. A reality where God is mad all the time, a reality where you cannot do basically anything in life that you enjoy doing, because normally this is how religion works, right? Whatever you love doing, God probably hates. I have to wake up early to go to church. Well, I'm tired. Well, that's probably what God wants. If you hate it, that's probably His will. This is what happens. This is not what happens. And then we're inserted in a religion of guilt that constantly needs to be here in order to appease God, and then you go back to life normally. Well, guess what? This is nowhere to be found in the Bible. And what are we going to do from now on here? Well, we're going to study biblical language. Always. In the Bible study every Tuesday, in Sabbath study along here, we're going to discuss what the Bible's talking about worship here on Sabbath, and what the Bible's talking about the world, God, sin, humanity, Tuesday night every week. Yes, sir.
Would it be accurate to say that the Bible is about truth?
Yeah, it has truth, but what is that's a word. So let's end with this. What is truth? The meaning in society and English language. What does it mean? So let's think about it, right? We're talking about truth. What's truth?
Well, Jesus was truth because in 2 John,
Well, you're going to the Bible's filters. Let's think about what the word means in English for us as a society. What is truth? Yes.
So if I see an incident like a bank robbery, and I report it to the police officer, but somebody else sees it, they report it a different way. It's all true,
Sure. Oh,
but it's the way that you see it.
so you're talking about truth as fact, right?
You can interpret it different. Everybody interprets the truth.
So truth is subjective. Okay? What else? Truth is your perception, subjective. It's my perception against your perception. So truth is tied to experience. I need to experience it for myself, and it may be truth to you, not truth to me. Good. So it's tied to experience. What else? So now let's go to the biblical understanding of truth. Are you ready? We'll end here. Truth in the Bible is emet. Emet. It's where the word where we get amen. Right? Amen. When we say amen, may it be so. May it be like this. We affirm this. This is good. Truth is standing. So what is truth all about? Truth in the Bible has nothing to do with cognitive content. That's number one. Right? Number three, if I learn the words here, if I got about then I understand, okay, good. And if I have the ideas down, then I'm saved. That's very Greek. Okay? The Greeks thought that if you think about things and you understand it, now you have a clear grasp of things and you know truth. Right? Truth in the Bible has nothing to do only with ideas and conceptions, but it has to do with life. So in other words, truth in the Bible is whatever is trustworthy. You get it? So in other words, I can say that from here to my car, the shortest route is through this front door here. And believe me, I'm telling you the truth. But then you can say, well, you can go out of this door here, maybe, but you will only find out what truth is when you do what? When you actually walk and make sure you live it and experience it, and suddenly you realize, yeah, this is trustworthy, this is good, this is truth. Because the Bible, biblical truth, is not tied to doctrine, it's not tied to Bible studies, it's tied to life. It's an invitation. Truth in the Bible is an invitation to existence, to prove. Remember what God says? Prove, test me, and find out that I am good, that I am loved, that I am trustworthy. Truth in the Bible is trustworthiness. So everything I told you today here about since Revelation, we studied Revelation 7 until now, right? These can only be words to you that you hear and then you go back home and do nothing. But if you apply them to life, then you will know what truth actually is. Then you will have a clear grasp of truth, not because you only heard it, but because you've seen it for yourself. This is why Jesus ended truth is such a thing, right? Because Jesus is talking about come and see, right? Come and see. Experience this and find it out for yourself. So normally my students will say, well, how is Christianity truth and Islam not truth? I say, well, try it. Try it and see for yourself. Because there is no truth in the mind. Truth is in life. When you try the path, the narrow way, the narrow door that is Jesus Christ, the one who invites us to the life of truth and freedom. And if you indeed find the trustworthiness of what he is proposing, you will find freedom. Freedom to live, freedom to rejoice, freedom to face our fears and our troubles with a renewed perception and conscience. So yeah, we're dealing with truth. But you will only find it if you walk away. You will never find it just sitting here and hearing the words and not believing it. Are we good here? So this is part one. Worship is really, I didn't even get to the relational part. I just got to the introduction. Let's stop here, because I'm hungry. That's pretty good, yeah? Are we good? Then we can discuss over lunch. If something was not clear, let's sit down, let's have some food, and we'll talk it out. Okay? Let's pray together. Let's get up. Let's stand. Let's pray together before the Lord. Dear God, we thank you for the Bible, for your words, and for a new language. And may your Spirit teach us this language so that we may see the world in a different way. We may be inserted in a new reality according to your vision. And so that we might find truth in life by trusting the path you have laid out for us. We pray for this blessing and for the food. In the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys. Have a good Sabbath.
Close it.